Well, officially today, Parliament was having its last session sitting just a couple of hours ago. But before that, on the other hand, the processing of voters for presidential candidates was happening today across the nation. It was Citizen First President and a number of other presidents listed there. So amongst the list, only Hari Kalava successfully did the process. That's across the nation, because it's a requirement that every presidential candidate is supposed to present 1,000 supporters from across the provinces. So 100 from Lusaka, 100 from the other provinces. So from what has happened, Harika was successful in that process. But people presented the EFF president, that's Kasonde Mwenda. He could not appear before either city council because he's in prison or he's in police cells, as you may be aware. I think he's clocking a week, if not more, most likely a week. He was arrested at Kawata station, and there hasn't been any new update with regard to any change of his location. So Kasonde Mwenda was not able to do that process because currently in police custody. Shari Chirufia representing the Patriotic Front, I don't know what update has come from that. It was supposed to be 15 hours, but considering that the Patriotic Front is still in court, I don't know how that works out. But yeah, so Hari Kalava turned out to be the only person that has successfully presented the 1,000 voters to pretty much as a requirement by ECZ. So Hari Kalava has done that. Obviously, Maxwell Chungu, the National Youth Chairperson, was quick to praise the guy, to say the David that many did not see coming finally here, and he puts up Hari Kalava's picture there. But that's the update. Shufetari kept on updating the nation on what was going on. So update on the pre-processing of presidential candidates. So Sebastian Kapandula has let his supporters down. He is now arguing that the Electoral Commission of Zambia did not formally communicate to him that the request in rescheduling. However, it's highly unlikely that ECZ will accept the explanation, which effectively means he's out of the race. So that person was trying to justify his failure to present supporters. I think the only person that has been left in yellow is Kasonde Mwenda, because he's in police custody. So it's either they release him and then he fails to present the electorates, but if he presents them, then we'll wait and see how that plays out. But as of close of business day to day, there hasn't been any change with regard to the case surrounding Kasonde Mwenda. That's the EFF president, and that's the man in question there. So police confirmed the EFF leader Kasonde Mwenda in custody there, so he could not definitely appear for that filing in of supporters or verification of voters by ECZ. So Emmanuel Mwamba put up an article to say police ensure that Kasonde Mwenda does not follow his presidential candidate as presidential candidate. The Zambia police says economic freedom fighters leader Kasonde Mwenda is not missing, but continues to be in lawful police custody in Chinsali 10 days after his arrest. So it seems like he has been moved to Chinsali, according to Emmanuel Mwamba's post there. But the last update that came from anywhere official was that he was at Kawata police station. So he's moved to Chinsali. I do not know where Emmanuel Mwamba is getting that information, but yeah. So police public relations officer Godfrey Chilavi says that Mwenda was taken to Chinsali on May 8th, 2026 for investigation related to the alleged offense of deceptive electronic communication. EFF slot for his civic center in Saka today went unattended to. So as I showed you earlier on, there was a slot where he was supposed to appear and present his pre-voter verification. He couldn't do that. Seems like he's been taken to Chinsali for that investigation that the police are carrying out. And then obviously Maxwell Chungu goes further praising Harika. He says, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will announce you and cause you. You will move in divine intervention and protection with speed. Congratulations to you, President Harika, for consistency, determination, focus, and perseverance. in an excellent leadership that has been shown in the party of Citizen First. Pretty much a praise going to Harry Kalawa and his process being a successful contender. And he was the first person on that list. So Harry Kalawa can be noted that is one person that is going to be on the ballot box, considering all that is done. I think the next process is for him just to present, take 12 certificates and whatever else is required for presidential nomination, because he's already paid his nomination fee. He's now, as of today, verified the 1,000 supporters from across the nation. So I think the next process is simply getting the verification from ECZ. Then officially he's going to be on the ballot box or ballot paper, as you may see. The Electoral Commission of Zambia has warned political parties against presenting the same individuals as supporters for multiple presidential aspirants, saying that the electronic system will automatically flag duplicates. So this is the warning that is going to all presidential hopefuls to say, if you intend to come with the supporters that others have used from other provinces, the ECZ system will simply pick it up to say this person's voter registration number has been used already by another presidential candidate. So whoever you're presenting at ECZ, make sure that have not been used by any other candidate. That's a warning from ECZ. What is Harikawa just posted that. So since the first verification process of the ECZ Electoral Commission of Zambia is underway throughout the 10 provinces. God bless, he says. Lusaka, with over 3 million people, you are struggling to raise 100 registered voters. What more? Kulwa. That's the UPND there, just smoking some presidential candidates there. But one would argue to say if they had given a chance to EFF president to actually be out here, he might have been successful to present his supporters. But anyway, that's what it's political season at this point. Harikalawa, there's a busy signing the new certificates as required by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Harikalawa is turning out to be the most organized political party amongst the opposition so far. It's a marvel to watch, because there's a lot of confusion amongst a lot of political parties in opposition, especially where you find that there's a struggle between the Secretary General and the presidency. But with Harry Kalawa's situation, it seems like it's straightforward, and so you're signing the adoption certificates for a number of candidates on his party there, as you can see. And then 156 job vacancies. National Assembly of Zambia expected date of reporting on 12th August 2026. That's what's going on there. That's when the new the new government will be coming in as members of parliament. So on the 12th August there, that's when I don't know, that makes no sense again. What can I say? 156 job vacancies. National Assembly of Zambia expected date of reporting 12th August 2020. That makes no sense at all, because if you are voting on the 13th of August, how can they be reporting on the 12th of August? Anyway, it could be just a political job. Whoever put that up on the UPND page might not be well informed, because that makes no sense at all. Anyway, Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Muti, has announced that since the adjournment of the 13th session of the National Assembly ahead of dissolution this week on Friday, in a move addressing the House, she wished lawmakers contesting elections should they return to the National Assembly for institutional memory's sake. So saying, hey, in as much as yes, we fought our battles as members of parliament, come back and let's make memories and for posterity. Some of you might not return to parliament, and those that will, all the best. And then I wish those that are standing on the elections all the best. It's my desire that many members of this house as possible are retained because they hold the institutional memory, and pretty much wish there. What is within the UPND, the rest to the mayoral seat continues, because the current mayor of Lusaka, the lady is not contesting a mayoral position. She's opted to contest as a member of parliament for Roma constituency. That's pretty much a suburb in Lusaka. So the deputy, the lady that was in agreement with the current mayor, where they wanted to change the name for Simon Mwewa's market, the one that is named after his father, Tambala Mwewa, the one that's contesting as mayor. Pretty much the deputy is one who's likely to run as mayor. So there's that race. According to Emmanuel Mwamba, it says Simon Mwewa, pretty much that's Tambala Mwewa, beaten in the UPND preliminaries. So the UPND is pretty much carrying out preliminary votes within the constituencies to see who's popular, and then the National Management Committee is one that obviously approves and signs off who's going to be their candidate. So according to what Emmanuel presented is that Simon Mwewa is trailing from behind from that deputy mayor, current deputy mayor, aspiring to be the actual mayor of Lusaka in the upcoming session of the elections there. And Simon was quick to respond to that. I'll read you his response. But failure by politicians to familiarize themselves with the public gathering and cyber law ahead of the campaign is a trap and potentially a step closer to Chimbokaira. So that's according to Smart Eagles. And then Shambala was quick to respond to that, to say those statistics that are going around to say he's trailing from behind, and his other opponents from the UPND leading in the preliminaries around the constituencies are not the official notification. But that does not change the fact to say if he's not doing well in the preliminaries, that does not change the fact that yes, the National Committee of the UPND has got the authority to pick who their preferred candidate is going to be. But on the ground, if the people prefer those candidates, that does not change the fact. This is the same mistake that the PF had made, where the ground communicates to say that candidate you are choosing is not the one that we want. And then obviously because that central committee, if you are in favor with the people that are choosing there, they can give you the adoption certificate. And then you go and misperform in the actual elections, because at the end of the day, the people that vote at central committee are not the people that are going to vote in the election in the constituencies. Every Zambian voter is only entitled to one vote at national level. So that's that. So Tambala Mwewa may be influential within the UPND to push for his adoption as mayor. But if that lady, the one who's the deputy right now, deputy mayor of Lusaka, is popular and people want her, and the party decides to adopt Tambala Mwewa as opposed to her, that does not change the fact that the party is going to perform well. They are just going to lose. So this is where the party should be very critical in choosing that decision, or making that decision. If the other two opponents are more popular than Tambala, it just has to go that way. But then, if it's just politics at the end of the day, let's wait and see how that plays out. But he was quick to respond to that. They're rushing, let them not celebrate too prematurely. It says, Ministerial office will become vacant this Friday, May 15th, 2026, following the dissolution of Parliament, transferring authority to permanent secretaries until new ministries are appointed, or new ministers are appointed after August 13th general election. You see what I meant by that post that was put up by the UPND page, where they're saying the new National Assembly will be formed on the 12th of August. How's that possible when the elections are taking place on the 13th? Whoever put that post up didn't have the right statistics or information. Parliament dissolution, those are some of the pictures from the last day of Parliament sitting today. Some hugs, some are crying, just emotional moments from Parliament. Speaker interacting with everybody that was there. Mao Sampa, you can see him there interacting with the Speaker of the National Assembly. Today is the last sitting now. Friday is just a dissolution. I don't know if they actually have to be in Parliament for when Parliament is dissolved. We'll wait and see what happens on Friday. That's what's going on in other news. And then, you know about this bill. Our monitor says that 2026 polls could most likely be a one-sided presidential race, with Hakainde Hichilema carrying the day. That's my obvious monitor's opinion. Says there's really no opposition in his view as we head into August. And that's what's in the Daily Nation. That's what's in the Mass newspaper. News Digger.